You're looking for a setup that actually works when the lights come up, when the crowd is waiting, and when you just want to throw a solid party without spending a fortune on a rack of gear you'll only use once a year. That's the exact place most of us get stuck. We see a wall of specs, we see a glossy photo of a controller and a pair of speakers, and we wonder if it will really be reliable, easy to live with, and worth the money. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The biggest hesitation most first-time DJs have is buying something that sounds great on paper, but ends up being a nightmare to set up or too fragile for a real gig. On the other side of the coin, seasoned performers sometimes overinvest in a system that's overkill for a backyard wedding or a birthday bash. The Mixtrack Pro FX paired with the ALTO TS412 powered PA speakers tries to land in that sweet spot. A bundle that promises everything you need to start mixing and to fill a small to medium room with clear, punchy sound, without the endless cable jungle. Let's break down why that matters in everyday use. The controller itself has a familiar layout. 2 large jog wheels that feel almost like vinyl, a set of performance pads for hot cues, and a pair of tactile FX paddles that let you add reverb, echo, or filter sweeps on the fly. The big win here is the way those paddles sit in your hand. They're not just a button you tap, they're a lever you can press and hold, which makes live manipulation feel more musical. If you've ever tried to add a quick echo on a cheap controller and found the button too stiff, you'll notice the difference right away. The speakers are the other half of the equation. Each ALTO TS412 delivers 2,500 watts of power, which, in plain English, means you can crank the volume up to fill a 300 square foot hall without distortion. The sound profile is surprisingly balanced. The mids stay clean enough for vocal tracks, the lows have enough thump for dance music, and the highs don't become shrill even when you push the bass. For a typical house party, a backyard barbecue, or a small wedding reception, that level of output is more than enough. You can also stack the 2 cabinets for a wider stereo spread, and because they're powered, you don't have to hunt for an external amp or mixer. You just plug the controller's master output straight into the speaker inputs. Now, who should actually consider this bundle? If you're a beginner DJ who's just getting comfortable with beat matching and looping, the Mixtrack Pro FX gives you a Hanson feel that's a step up from a laptop-only setup. The included Serato DJ Lite software is a solid entry point. It's free, it works right out of the box, and it teaches you the basics while still letting you explore more advanced features like beat loop slicing and sampler triggering. Pair that with speakers that already have the power you need, and you have a plug-and-play solution that can be moved from a living room to a small club night without buying extra gear. The same bundle makes sense for anyone who runs regular events on a modest scale. Community center fundraisers, church youth nights, or a friend's birthday party where you're the designated music director. You'll appreciate the fact that the speakers have built-in protection circuitry. They won't blow out if you accidentally bump the volume up while a bass-heavy track hits. And because the speakers are relatively lightweight for their class, loading them into a car trunk and setting them up on a stage or a portable riser is a 2-person job at most. On the flip side, you'll want to skip this if you're aiming for a large venue, a professional club, or a festival stage. While 2,500 watts sounds impressive, the real-world output is calibrated for rooms under about 500 square feet. Push it into a 2,000 square foot hall, and you'll start hearing the sound thin out, especially the low end. Also, the Mixtrack Pro FX, while great for learning, doesn't have the same depth of performance features as higher-end controllers that include full-size faders, multiple cue points per deck, or built-in multi-track looping. If you're already comfortable with a 4-deck setup in Rekordbox or Traktor, you'll likely outgrow the software bundle faster than you'd like. A practical weakness that shows up after a few gigs is the limited input selection on the speakers. Each cabinet has a single XLR/inch combo input, which is perfect for your controller but becomes a bottleneck if you want to add a microphone, a CD player, or a secondary laptop. You can get around it with a small external mixer, but that adds another piece of gear you have to carry and power. Another thing to note is that the FX paddles, while responsive, are limited to the effects that come with Serato DJ Lite. You won't get the deep, customizable effect chains you might find in the full version of Serato or in other software ecosystems.